My dear friend, I must begin with a confession. People often imagine that prosperity comes from frantic activity, long hours, or some heroic level of strain. They imagine that wealth arrives only after one has practically wrestled life to the ground. Yet the truth is far more elegant and far more astonishing. Prosperity begins in a place no one can see. It begins in the thoughts you quietly manufacture all day long. Your mind is a secret money factory, and most people, bless them, do not even realize they are running one. Now, some individuals operate this factory beautifully. They produce ideas stamped with faith, confidence, expectancy, and clarity. These are golden thoughts, thoughts that attract supply as surely as a magnet collects iron filings. These people seem lucky. They are not. They are obedient to law. Others, however, run their mental factory quite poorly. They allow worry to supervise production. They permit fear to sit at the front desk. They hire doubt to inspect every shipment. Then they are shocked, simply shocked, when their finances resemble a warehouse that has just survived a small tornado. Today, I want to speak to you as if you and I were sitting in a quiet garden, perhaps with a cup of hot tea, and I will show you something most people have never been taught. Your thoughts are blueprints, and life builds from your blueprints with exquisite precision. Let us take a peek inside this secret money factory of yours. When you think an idea with feeling, you press a kind of cosmic stamp upon the substance around you. You are impressing your design upon the invisible. The invisible, being quite obedient, then begins arranging circumstances to match your inner pattern. If you think thoughts of wealth, opportunity, and expectancy, the universe must respond. If you think thoughts of lack, struggle, and I never catch a break, well, the universe must respond to that too. It is a most impartial assistant. But Florence, you may protest, surely life is more complicated than that. To which I would say, my dear, people are complicated. Life is quite simple. You receive what you prepare for, not what you merely wish for, and preparation begins in thought. If you order a fine gown from a dressmaker, you would not send in a drawing of a potato sack. If you desire wealth, you must not send the universe the mental pattern of poverty. That would be a rather uninspired blueprint, would it not? Let me tell you a little story. I once knew a woman who claimed she wanted abundance. She affirmed it every morning with the enthusiasm of an opera singer, yet she doubted every afternoon with the skill of a seasoned critic. She would say, I am rich in substance and supply, only to follow it with, well, unless the economy collapses, or my boss continues being difficult, or something else dreadful happens. Her mental factory was producing wealth in the morning and sabotage by sunset. She was canceling her own orders before they arrived. Bless her, she meant well, but she did not understand law. Prosperity is created by sustained thought, not sporadic declarations. Your thoughts must line up with your desires the way a compass needle lines up with true north. When you hold the pattern long enough, life begins rearranging itself to meet you halfway. Let us speak now about the invisible blueprint of success, because this is where the magic hides. Everything you will ever build begins first as an invisible outline. Think of architects. Before the first brick is laid, they create a drawing. Before the drawing exists, they form an idea. The building arrives long after the invisible blueprint has done its job. So it is with prosperity. Money is the brick, thought is the blueprint, and belief, my dear, is the architect. You are designing each day of your life with the thoughts you choose to entertain. You may not be doing this consciously, which is why some people feel as though they are living inside houses they never agreed to build. Their thoughts designed the walls. Their fears selected the furnishings. Their doubts installed the roof. To create success, your internal architecture must change first. The outer world always follows the blueprint of the inner. Now, let me give you an example of a woman who mastered this beautifully. Years ago, a young artist came to me. She was talented, inspired, and utterly convinced that life intended to ignore her. She feared she would always struggle. Her thoughts were filled with phrases such as, there is no market for my work, and no one notices talent anymore. Her mental factory was operating an assembly line of lack. I told her, My dear, your work is not being ignored. Your thoughts are ignoring your good. I instructed her to create a new blueprint, one that reflected the life she wished to build. She was to affirm with great joy, I am wonderfully supplied. The right buyers are seeking my work, and they find me now. I told her to speak it as though she were announcing something lovely at a dinner table. Within weeks, opportunities began arriving. A gallery requested a meeting. A collector commissioned a piece. When she arrived at my door breathless with excitement, I merely smiled. You see, I said, the universe was always ready. Your thoughts needed to get dressed first. Your good is not hiding from you. It is waiting for you to produce the correct blueprint. Now, let us explore the mechanics of this invisible prosperity system so you can use it deliberately. Thoughts are seeds. Feelings water them. Actions harvest the crop. Most people fuss endlessly over the harvest while neglecting the seeds entirely. They wonder why their field is half empty. It is because they have been planting mixed seeds, a handful of faith, followed by a handful of fear. Then they are shocked to discover a garden containing both roses and thistles. Do not plant mixed seeds. A decisive mind creates a powerful harvest. Here is something else that may surprise you. Your words are not simply expressions, they are orders. When you speak with intent, your words become instructions to your invisible factory workers. Say, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and invisible forces hurry to obey. Say, I never have enough, and you have just given the universe a very unfortunate assignment. Speak only what you wish the factory to manufacture. Another story comes to mind. A gentleman once complained bitterly that his financial life resembled a cracked teacup. Nothing stayed in it. Money came and went with alarming speed. He insisted he was cursed. I assured him he was not. He simply had a habit of saying, easy come, easy go. And the universe, polite as always, complied. When he changed his declaration to, everything that comes to me stays with me and multiplies, his financial life steadied. Repeat this thought in the comments below. Everything that comes to me stays with me. Clients who had been avoiding him suddenly reappeared. His business grew. His teacup, so to speak, began collecting blessings instead of leaking them. Nothing mystical happened. He simply issued a new blueprint. Now, let us speak about a topic most people overlook. Imagination. I have always said that imagination is the scissors of the mind. It cuts out the pattern. If you imagine poverty, you hand the universe a shabby little scrap. If you imagine wealth, you hand it a golden template. Your imagination is not frivolous. It is architectural. Picture yourself prosperous. Imagine yourself calm, capable, prepared, and beautifully supplied. Imagine it until it feels like a memory. The universe responds most readily to images held with emotion. If you can feel it, you can build it. Perhaps you are wondering, but Florence, what about reality? Should I not look at my circumstances? My dear, you may look at them briefly, the way one glances at the weather before deciding what coat to wear. But never allow circumstances to dictate the blueprint. Circumstances are the result of old blueprints, not the authors of new ones. A wise builder does not redesign the house simply because the ground is uneven. She builds the foundation according to the blueprint, and the ground obeys. And now I want to reveal a delightful secret. Your prosperity arrives the moment you stop arguing with your own good. Many people block their supply, not because they lack talent, effort, or opportunity, but because they engage in constant inner contradictions. They say, I know abundance is possible, and then whisper internally, but probably not for me. Their blueprint has two sets of instructions. The universe does not know which one to follow, so it follows both. The result is a life that advances and retreats simultaneously. The most powerful thing you can do is stop arguing with yourself. Choose the blueprint you desire and hold it with cheerful stubbornness. Let me be perfectly clear. You do not have to strain to manifest prosperity. Strain is the language of fear. Ease is the language of faith. Prosperity arrives to those who expect it with a calm certainty, the way one expects a dear friend to arrive for lunch. Each time you think a thought of wealth, you are weaving a golden thread into your invisible pattern. Continue long enough, and the pattern becomes so strong that the outer world has no choice but to match it. I promise you, once you grasp this, life becomes rather charming. You discover that your mind is not a chaotic place, but a workshop. You learn that your thoughts are not idle, but creative. You realize that you are not waiting for prosperity. Prosperity is waiting for your instructions. And here is your instruction for today. I now design a perfect blueprint of wealth. I think only thoughts that prosper me. I speak only words that supply me. The universe builds according to my best ideas. Repeat it gently, as if soothing a child. You are re-educating your inner architect. Before we conclude, allow me to leave you with one more truth, delivered in the spirit of gentle mischief, which I so enjoy. If you insist upon worrying, do make certain that you worry about miracles happening by mistake. Worry that opportunities may fling themselves at you unexpectedly. Worry that a sudden avalanche of good may burst through your front door unannounced. If you must worry, make it something delightful. Otherwise, choose faith. It is far better for the complexion. Your thoughts are secret money factories. Design your blueprint with intention, and life will build you a palace. If this video resonated with you, give it a like and subscribe so we can continue this journey together.